Hi, my name is Will Trickett. I'm a Power BI developer with Blue Margin. And over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through our Commercial Services HQ, which is a best practice dashboard for the commercial services industry. And then I'm going to wrap up with some additional resources that will be helpful for your organization. But first, a little bit more about Blue Margin. We are based in Fort Collins, Colorado. We're Microsoft Gold partners, and we've been working for about 10 years in the business intelligence industry. Our specialty is helping mid-market companies mobilize their data in the form of dashboards and reports in order to improve productivity and to prioritize key initiatives and issues across the organization. We've also written a book called The Dashboard Effect, which gives a little more background into our philosophy behind what we do. And I'd be happy to provide you access to that. I'll explain how to do that at the end of the call. But a little more about commercial services in particular. We've identified a number of key challenges and pain points for this industry, and the dashboards that we build help to address those issues. This has cultural benefits in that it provides clear expectations for any employee across the organization. It helps to share accountability, and it also makes your progress to goals measurable instead of being lost in a fog of war. And operationally, it also just gives more clarity into the health of the organization, as well as provides ways to coordinate people better. So I'm going to walk through these dashboards, but I'm always happy to meet with you personally to go into more detail. And with that, let's look at the scorecard. In this scenario, we have a company who's looking to improve their financial performance. And this main company scorecard provides insight into key metrics across 6 different areas of the business. You can see those labeled as headings here: revenue, AR, AP, cash flow, labor, and work order efficiency. At a high level, you can see this company is doing well. Their revenue is above what it was in the prior year. Their accounts receivable is primarily in the current bucket, with potentially some areas to improve collections in the 90+ bucket. AP savings looks good over the next 4 weeks, and the cash flow is positive generally. But we see that there's a couple areas to improve labor and work order efficiency. Labor has dipped just below the 70% utilization goal. And work order efficiency, while it looks to be almost on target now, the previous week it was quite a bit above the goal of 1.14. So with any of these areas, you can click on the detail button to get more insight into that particular business area. So I'm going to click on labor detail, and this is going to link me to a more comprehensive summary of how we're doing in this area. I can see the main KPI of utilization percent in the last 13 weeks, which shows us that we're just above the goal. Our overtime is just under the 10% threshold, and our travel is slightly over the 7.5% goal. You can see those also trended over the last 13 weeks to see how we're doing over time. But where I want to focus our attention is the utilization percent bullet chart here, which you can see that 3 of our divisions are outperforming their goals by a fairly significant amount. And then there's 3 that could work on improvements. And so I'm going to look at the lowest one, which is Southwest at 64.7%. And I'm going to click on that header, and that's going to cross-filter the rest of the page to show data for just this division. Apparently, this utilization trend has remained consistently around the 65% mark over the last 13 weeks. And so this appears to be a consistent problem. Overtime looks to be just under 10%, which is good. And our travel time percent has started to increase in the last week. So this may be something that we want to look into. Probably the most actionable item here would be looking at the supervisors and the employees, which you can see that there are 5 supervisors in particular who have a utilization pretty far below that 70% target. And you can drill down into any of these to see the employees that make up that percentage and to look into areas to improve that, perhaps addressing it with training or with decreasing travel time, etc. Now that I'm back on the scorecard page, I can click into the work order efficiency detail. I can see a very similar workflow to the previous labor page, except we're looking at a few other key metrics: average trips per work order, first time fixed percent, and second time fixed percent. Once again, I can see that a few divisions are underperforming, And maybe I want to look into why that's the case. I can click on Central, and that's going to cross-filter this page. I can see that my trend has been pretty far above the goal for the last 13 weeks, so this is a systemic problem. There's one supervisor in particular, Moina Kosins, who seems to have the highest values, and so I want to look into those employees that she's supervising and see if there's areas where we can improve, either first time fix, second time fix, or both, in order to get those trips per work order to decrease. One thing I should also mention is that all of these pages have an info button available. When you click on these info buttons, it will give you more insight into how to use this page, who the targeted user is, what the business outcome is, and just to give more of a user story to help orient you to the page. But with that, I will go back to the scorecard. So that was a quick overview, but I'd be happy to meet with you to discuss more detail into your particular situation. You can contact John Thompson to get that set up. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you shortly. Bye.